All right, guys. So, what's not to like about the Galaxy Note 10 devices? So, I have the 10 Plus and the 10. Normally, when I get devices like this, I keep one or the other. I review them both and end up keeping one or the other. If there's two sizes, I always settle in on one. And in this video, I will tell you which one I'm settling in on and which one I'm actually really liking a lot. So, I bought the Galaxy Note 10 Plus first. And then a little bit after that, I gave that to the wife, and then I ended up buying the smaller variant, which is the 10. And the 10 is actually really solid, man. What's not to like about the 10? If you look on paper, you're going to say, oh, it has a lower resolution display, it has a smaller battery, no SD card, and it's missing the time of flight camera. But after that, I really can't see too much difference. I really don't see that it's such a bad phone. It doesn't get the best rap in a lot of cases, but all in all, the Galaxy Note 10, compared to the 10 Plus, it performs exactly the same when it comes to the software and the cameras. There is one major flaw, though, for the Galaxy Note 10, the smaller variant. Specifically the 10 Plus, when I compared them side by side, when I looked at it, I didn't really see a difference in the screen quality, to be honest. Even though it's a 1080p, it's a beautiful 1080p display. And as far as software and performance goes, it performed the same. I didn't see any difference in the quality and speediness of apps because it has a Snapdragon 855 too. So, and it has 8 gigs of RAM. You're just missing an SD card, a headphone jack on both, but an SD card on the smaller one, card slot, and then you're missing the quality display. But a lot of times, folks, I've heard people say, hey, we don't, it's overkill, 4K is overkill. And if according to Samsung, at least that's the way it's been referenced to me, that the smaller variant is not for content creators. It's for anybody who's trying to get in on that Note line, and you should be okay with that. So the Note 10 performs well. It has a beautiful screen. It's got beautiful stereo speakers. The cameras are mind-blowing. It does everything the big version does, the 10 Plus, as far as cameras go, for shooting video like this. There's just a lot that it does the same. The only differences are on paper, but in reality, there is one difference, and that difference is battery life. The battery life on the Note 10 does not compare to the Note 10 Plus, and I'm surprised at that because 3,500 milliamps, folks, is not a small battery. It's not a small battery. They're just kind of, people who say that it is basing it on the Note 10 Plus battery, which is 4,300, almost 1,000 more. But it shouldn't be this far off in battery life. Now, my Note 10 doesn't have poor battery life, but I might be able to get 5 hours, maybe 6 on the Note 10, while on the Note 10 Plus, I can easily blow past 7 and hours up, might be able to get 8 out of it, but the Note 10 is not a bad device. However, when I settle in on a device, and I buy these devices myself, I'm going to review them both if possible. And sometimes I don't buy both, but in this situation, I wanted to feel both of them. And the Note 10 wins for feel in hand, comfort in pocket. It wins in that category, hands down. It's a little bit less in price. So if you're looking to get into the Note line, remember that battery life is dependent on the user. I have like 15 accounts syncing, always on social media. So me being only able to get 4 to 5 to 6 hours, I don't think I can get 6, maybe 4.5 to 5.5 hours pushing it, has something to do with the optimization of how that phone is optimized. It has to be because they're the same devices. And then the Note 10 is pushing a 1080p display. So it doesn't have much, it still has a high resolution display, but it just, for some reason, the battery life is just different, and it's only an 800 milliamps difference. And it doesn't have the higher specs, you know what I'm saying? So it's green and things like that. So, the fact that it doesn't have a headphone jack, folks, if that's your thing, then steer clear of it. Don't watch videos on the Note 10. Don't do any, if you already know it doesn't have a headphone jack, there's no need to come into the comments and complain that it doesn't have a headphone jack because you knew that going into it. So the Note 10, got on the chopping block pretty quickly. And here's what I did. So beautiful. So as you can see, I decided to switch back to a 10 Plus. So I basically just did an exchange and got me a 10 Plus, and I just got me a white one version. I couldn't get the 512 in white in the US, so I just settled for the lower price. I mean, it's not $100 difference, but I would have liked that. But you don't really need the additional 256 gigs. I just wanted to top it out because I'll be doing a lot of recording with this phone. Hopefully not this type of screen. So if you haven't guessed yet, this is definitely a catch and release for the Note 10, but it's not a bad catch and release. It's just that I couldn't stand the battery on the Note 10, and the Note 10 Plus performs exceptionally well in the battery. So other than the battery life, I had the same experience overall with the Note 10 as far as day-to-day usage and things like that. It actually feels better than the Note 10 Plus because it's smaller. You still get that full screen display. Ultimately, the battery life just wasn't going to cut it for that price. So I got the phone. I got another Note 10 Plus. Did another trade-in, and I traded in the 10R and got $600. So got this Note 10 for 500. Note 10 Plus for $500, and it's very nice. So there it is, folks. I'm now going to be settling in on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus going forward. And here we are. I didn't want to label this video catch and release because then people start to make comments immediately, and I want to see where your head is at if you even watch this video. So if you watch this video, let me see that famous hashtag unlocked Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It's your man Jay. Galaxy Note 10 owners, you don't have a bad device. It just wasn't up to my standards for battery life. For that price, even though I did a trade-in, it doesn't matter. It just wasn't worth the hassle to deal with that battery life in an extended period of use. So, and then when I posted on Twitter, some people said I'm getting fantastic battery life on the Note 10. You have to remember, battery life is dependent on the user. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to stop this video with my Galaxy Note 10 pen. I'm out.